Hold up.
Okay, so this is the pricing that I recommend as a really good guideline. Now, keep in mind, I'm not somebody who's going to be like, you should never or you should always. Feel free to try different things. Like I just recently got comfortable with this idea of the $5,000 a month pricing for Facebook ads. That one took me a minute, like just because it's so much money to charge. And keep in mind, like I don't come from some background of being a crazy like guru or anything like that. Like I'm pretty new to this scene, so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. You know what I mean? So feel free to like test and try different things. Okay, ready, guys? Let's have some fun. Oh, the backward issue is the Zoom setting on the presenter's end. Oh my gosh, I'll fix that later. I'll fix that on the next call. Thank you though. That's awesome. So we've got organic, guys. We've got organic, which means, as you know, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever platforms you decide you want to work on. One thing that's really important, if you don't like a platform or you really hate it, you don't have to work on it, which is kind of cool. For example, I hate Reddit because I've been burned on Reddit a few times just because I use it as a marketer and not as somebody who uses Reddit. And now I know what Reddit is. It's where the trolls hide. If you don't want to do a platform, don't do it. If you love a platform, do it. Do more of it. The goal with all of this is to create a business that you love. And anytime that you start to identify something that you don't like, don't do it. You know what I mean? It makes so much sense. Or outsource it. Take it on with a client, and I guarantee you there is someone in SMU who does it and loves it, and you can outsource it to them, which is awesome. Okay, so organic. If you are brand new and have no experience and no training, so that means like someone who's just like woke up one day and is like, I want to be a social media manager. As long as you know how to like log into Facebook and Twitter and you don't have to ask the client how to log in, then what I recommend is keeping your rates pretty low just because we want to be honest about it. Does that make sense? If you're in SMU and you have access to SMU, you are already going to put yourself into a new bracket because what we have in there is, I'll be honest, if you're new, it's great. Like it's awesome once you hop on in and get all the training that's there. So it is $500 to $750 a month for organic when you're new with no experience and no training. When you are relatively new, but you have SMU behind you and you've asked questions and you've sought after answers. Like I know for me, I listened to Online Marketing Made Easy a ton and read tons of blogs and was like obsessing over everything. Then it automatically bumps you up to $750 to $1,000 a month. My goal, I said this on the call, my goal for everyone is that you never again charge less than $1,000 a month. That should be your goal with every client, because when you charge less than $1,000 a month, it's very difficult to make like six figures or the 10K month. For those of you who are newer, we actually have, I don't think I have any in here right now. We have 2 t-shirts. One is I'm the Boss, which is a fun t-shirt because this is for people who leave their 9 to 5. We have a ton of bosses in this group, which is awesome. And then we also have what is called the 5-Figure Club. The 5-Figure Club is a t-shirt. I think 15 people have earned it, which is awesome. I mean, that's a lot of money, $10,000 in a month. And what that represents is being able to make $10,000 in a month. Now, the thing is, I personally managed by myself with SMU and with clients when I had 15 clients. And that was my limit. That was like where I couldn't handle it anymore. I was working, I always work a lot, like probably 80 hours plus every week. And I like that. And I've got a lot of energy, so I kind of have to. Otherwise I get into trouble. So what I highly recommend is that you charge at least $1,000, because then you can take on 6, 10 clients and raise your rates, and then slowly taper off the clients you don't like, taper off the lower ticket clients, and then before you know it, you have a sustainable business. At $1,000 a month, you have a sustainable solopreneur / freelancer business. Sound good? what I told the free group, the big group, is that they should never again charge under $500 a month, because as crazy as this sounds, I've talked to a lot of people who will message me on Instagram or message me or email me, and they'll say, I'm charging $50 a month. And I'm like, what? That's like pennies for an hour. Like that's not sustainable. That's not healthy. You're being taken advantage of. Like, stop that right now. Like, that can't continue on. So if you're talking to friends and they're like, okay, I'm new to this, everything, basically everyone should get out of their mind that they're going to work for less than $500 a month. Absolutely not. I think that is huge. I'll dive into these questions. Actually, let's just dive into the questions as we go because we have time. So Carrie said, does the paid include ad dollars, or is that only for the management of advertising? This is only for the management of advertising. I have some clients that spend $500 a month in ads. I just took on a client that is planning on scaling from $20,000 a month in ad spend to $50,000 to $100,000 a month in ad spend. So it doesn't include that. They can scale their advertising as much or as little as they want. They are paying this because you will get better results with that $500 to $5,000 than they will. Does that make sense? I personally spend a lot, with the exception of this month, on ads. I think last month I spent like $17,000 on Facebook ads just for my two businesses. And it's cool because we're making a big push to grow everything, and it's really fun. So let me just make sure I answered all these questions. What does the organic include and what does the paid include? Awesome. So organic includes content creation, curation, which means you're grabbing content from other sources and then putting it together in an expert way that is most likely to get engagement. All of that is taught in SMU, so you have access to that. If you're brand new to this, you have access to that for the next 30 days. The 3 E's of content, of killer content, is really helpful. That's a great training. But what I recommend is recognizing that it's creation, curation, that you're never going to get as much content from your clients as you'd hope. That's just a reality. All of us, I think, can agree to that. You know, we think our clients are going to give us tons, and they're like, I'm super excited, I can record tons of videos, and then they get really busy with their business and you don't get the content. So you have to get creative. That includes the planning and the scheduling. You do not have to submit your plans for approval. I'm not a fan of that process. It takes a lot of time. That includes reporting. Maybe once a month is good. So for some people, they prefer once a week. We are going to, as we scale the agency, we are going to do once a month official reporting with once a week where we talk about the wins of the week. So it'll be a little just like bullet point list of, hey, here are the 3 big wins for this week. Awesome, right? So then it keeps them excited in between reports. So this is anywhere from 2 to 3, 3 to 4 platforms. When you're newer, one of the things that you will find is you almost feel the need to justify your prices. Can anyone attest to this? Like when you're new, you're like, and I'll also throw in this, and I'll also throw in this, and you like accidentally throw in a bunch of stuff because you just want to make sure that you're delivering value. And so one of the things that I found was that at the $1,000 price point, about 3 platforms and maybe email marketing is a really great package. In reality, you don't have to do that much. Does that make sense? You can do 3 platforms at $1,000 a month, and that is plenty. But I always threw in email marketing because it helped me to personally justify that price and feel like I was giving enough. So let me just make sure I'm not missing anything that has to do with organic. Organic is any free platforms getting engagement without ads. Awesome, Samantha. You are so spot on. Clement, is that someone with the name Ryan? I feel like I've seen that name in the free group. But if people in your area think $1,000 is outrageous, which I'm in Minnesota and I get that a lot. Like a lot of people think that's outrageous, but there are pockets of people. Oh, it's Clint. Okay, awesome. So if you get people who are like, I think that that's way too much money. Here's the great part about this job. Get clients in other places. I have clients in Utah, Florida, Colorado, Carolinas, New York, New Jersey, like all over the place. And then I actually intentionally skipped Minnesota for other reasons, just because I didn't feel like building a business in my home state. I wanted an excuse to travel, and I traveled a lot. I think I traveled almost 30 trips last year, maybe. Too many. That's what it comes down to, is too many. But so that's what I highly recommend. The different challenges in SMU will help you to figure out how to get those clients that are willing to pay more. And I promise you it works. If you don't believe me, look up the word WINS, WINS, in the Facebook group, which you'll be a part of today as soon as Alicia gets everybody accepted. Once you request and she accepts you, look up wins. And every Monday we celebrate wins, and people share their wins for the week. And you'll see people who are like, I started 6 months ago and I'm fully booked and I left my 9 to 5. Totally doable, you guys. And that was what my story was. I don't have like a rich dad. I don't have a sugar daddy husband. I did this myself. I am the breadwinner in my house. My husband is a trophy husband. So no, he does a little bit of work, couple hours of work a day, but he gets to hang out. And what he does is he just is a great husband, and we have a nanny and we have a housekeeper. So he doesn't even have to do that, but he's just great. So I don't have a sugar daddy. I did this myself, and I'm nobody fancy. So okay, let's real fast take a peek and make sure I get through these questions, and we'll hop back on over here. How do you charge someone who's a family friend and they know that they're your first client? That's really tough. I don't personally like to work with friends very often for that reason. I think that's really hard. One of the biggest things that I found is the last person to speak, the first person to speak loses. So why don't you, in that situation, ask your family friend how much they have in mind, and here's why. Because if they say anything less than $500 a month, not even worth going there. If you say a high price and they come back like with, what? That's way too much money. You're insulted. Then you say something and you're upset. They're insulted. Suddenly it's this like feedback loop of it changes the dynamic. So what I recommend is asking them how much they want to charge. Who do we have that's loud? I'm gonna have to find somebody in. We've got 3 pages of people on here. Holy moly. This is the most booked out call we have had outside of like a webinar. Oh, I think whoever it was found themselves. Oh, maybe not. Am I not seeing it? Sorry, I just want to get the background noise off. Weird. Stephanie, do you have it on down there? Yes. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but oh well. Okay, so what I recommend though is starting, I kind of hear it, but whatever, we'll just go with it. That's all. So we've got, that is really bothering me. But anyways, okay, we've got experience.
There's this guy here. Can you start over?
Oh, David. David did that to me when I was brand new and pitching for my first couple times SMU, and he gets on the webinar 15 minutes late, and I'm so nervous. This was like a year and a half ago, and he goes, "Hey, I just got here. Can you start over?" And I was like, okay, so we've got experienced organic marketers. If you're experienced, you can speak confidently about social media and organic social media. You're going to charge $1,000 to $2,000 a month. This is obviously easier to do with training, but it's easier to do with client work. Once you feel good about talking about stuff and feel like, you know what, yeah, I can get some engagement. Somebody is going to the bathroom. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Did you guys figure out who it was? Don't say who it was if you did. I totally know who it was. I won't say. Okay. Okay, so this is totally reasonable though. This is totally reasonable for an experienced marketer. Expert marketers, by the way, this is a very good goal zone to be in. Anyone who has a decent amount of clients can speak to this. The fact that if you charge these rates, you can build a fairly successful agency with some support, but it gets tough when you want to scale past a certain point. So once you get close to the 10K month, that's when you're like, I need to be charging more, and now I get it, because now I have overhead and clients and a team, and now I have to send out gifts to my clients, and I want to advertise my agency. So that's where the expert rates come into play. But if you're close to the 10K month, you're probably at a place where you can charge the expert rates. So that's $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And then I actually should probably raise this at some point, but I kind of just like it there. I think that's a really good price. $3,500 a month is my organic social media management rates. So before we dive into paid, I'm going to make sure I don't miss anything in here. So we'll go ahead and sneak on down. When you start an SMU Elite, what level could you scale yourself for the ads? Realistically, I think that most people in Elite, with where it's at right now, Elite will get you to about, for some people, it kind of caps you out at about $5,000 a month. Some people will get higher. I've seen a lot of people lately who have been getting to about $8,000 a month with the expertise in Elite. Most people, when it first started, at least it was $5,000. It's gotten better, but we are actually launching an invite-only program called Elite 2.0, where I teach to people who are successful in Facebook ads to help them get even further. And then all of the social click will get that too. But that's going to be what helps you to scale past $5,000 to $8,000 a month and get past, get to $10,000, $12,000 a month. And then you're going to be like, holy crap, I need help, Rachel. So did you guys all see my evil plan for the free group where I was like, here's my evil plan. You're all going to join the $1 trial. You're going to make money. You're going to take on lots of clients and realize you need help, and then you're going to join my other programs, and then you're going to make more money, and now you're going to be mad at me because you have to pay taxes, and then before you know it, you're going to be like, whoa, now I have to leave my 9 to 5, and that's my evil plan. I want everyone to be successful. Okay, so let's pop on down. Most clients in San Francisco think $1,000 a month is crazy. Oh my gosh, then go to Silicon Valley, go to Orange County. There, what's expensive? You know what I mean? Just all you have to do is go somewhere else. You don't have to meet people in person. I never meet people in person for social media. That's not necessarily my thing. So I think that's huge. Does SMU include Facebook ads and PPC training? No, but SMU Elite does. I don't teach pay-per-click with Google AdWords or anything like that. I teach Facebook ads. Elite 2.0 is going to have more on the different types of ad platforms though. Okay, let's see real fast. With email marketing, do you build the site and the landing page URL or just help with the message and send out? With email marketing, no, with just email marketing, you would just handle their like once a week blast. So like 4 emails a month or 5 emails a month. If you are building out their opt-in page and driving traffic to their opt-in page and help with the landing page URL, that's advanced. Now you're in funnels land. And funnels is SMU Elite. That's something where you're going to start charging more of this paid side. That's more expensive. There's organic marketing. So like email list, just sending them emails. And then when you get into this side, clients have money, or at least they should have money if they're going into Facebook ads and funnels. Going into Facebook ads and funnels without money is a surefire way to fail. Sorry. Gotta say it. Okay, excellent. Let me sneak on down and ask a couple more questions. I love this. Most of my clients are from the USA and I'm based in the UK. Ireland, right? Yeah. Let's see, do you promise results? Never. And how do you do that? What do you promise? Why are they going with you when they've got somebody else? I would never take a client from somebody else. My clients approach me when they are done with their person or they're ready for the first time to take on somebody. Most of my clients are mid to high 6-figure earners into 7 figures. And then I think I've had one client in 8 figures. But that was not where it was when it started. It was like low 6 figures, maybe even some beneath that a little bit. But I don't promise results. I say, I can't guarantee results, but what I can do is I can guarantee you the best chance at getting results. So working with me, it means that I'm going to care about your projects just as much as you do. I'm going to give you all of my attention when it comes to your Facebook ads, your funnels, your social media. I'm going to put together the best plan that we possibly can. Can't guarantee it, but if anyone guarantees it, they're a liar. And then we laugh, of course, together. That's what we do. And then I say, so what I want to do is give it my best try. I think that this could be successful. I'm not going to take on clients that I don't think are going to be successful, though. That's huge to me. Okay, let's sneak on down. Somebody said, LOL, I believe you. I wonder what they believe me about. I don't know. Oh, you're the sugar mama. I'm please sugar mama. I'm from Europe and these prices are way too high for my country. Oh, we got someone who's loud again. I gotta find it. We got a lot of people on, 78 people. Okay, give me 1 second because that distracts me. There we go, found it fast. Whew, it is hot in here. Okay, these prices are way too high for my country. How possible is it for someone from Europe to get US clients and charge them these prices? Can I do it with SMU training? Absolutely. We have so many people from Europe who are finding success. One person that comes to mind immediately is Geraldine. Geraldine is on fire. She's in the Netherlands and she's from France. And Geraldine has built a majorly successful company. Who else? Magdalena, Stephanie Rose. There's so many people who have been successful in Europe. And some of them work with clients in the US. Some of them work with clients in Europe. I mean, there are places in the UK that you can absolutely get high-paying clients, without a doubt. Does that make sense? So, okay, somebody told me to charge friends and family double. They might have been joking, but I'm kind of serious about that. And Janja, by the way, yes, you can do it with the SMU training. It gives you what you need to build a business that's successful at $49 a month. That's what it is after the $1 trial, is $49 a month, and it gives you everything you need to be successful. I've seen it happen in even a lot of people on this call, which is pretty cool, you guys. Thanks for coming. Okay, is this recorded? I can't stay for the whole thing. Yes, thank goodness I remembered to press record. Awesome. Let me sneak on down and see what else. What else we've got? Ashley's at a $3,000. Ashley, are you at a $3,000 month? Let's see, Elite 2.0, awesome. How did you learn everything you know? Trial and error and obsessively watching YouTube videos and Googling everything. And I wasted so much time learning everything so that I could break it down in an easy way so that you guys would be able to understand it really easily without wasting all of your time. I did not obsess over courses and taking lots of courses. I was like, I'm going to figure this out myself. So I am not a fan of just doing tons and tons and tons of courses because it adds up. And if you are spending all your money back on your business, like what is there to enjoy? You know, I'm a big fan of MVP. I might need to sit in just a minute, so we'll dive into here in just a moment. I am not a fan of posting your prices on your website because then you get tire kickers and you become commoditized. So I am a huge fan of getting prices together after the discovery call only. I knew you were evil. I love that, Cindy. Okay, so they wouldn't think it was expensive if they paid for other advertising. That is very true. What does Click cover? I'm not going to cover that on this call just because we're in between sessions of the Click. The Click is currently closed, but we can talk about it more on our next call, or I'll post about it in the Facebook group, but it's in between, so it doesn't matter. I only open it twice a year. Okay, so definitely don't post your rates on your website. How much do you charge for building them a landing page and a funnel? Is that part of your $49.97 a month or not? Right now, so it kind of depends. That's a really good way to say it. Anywhere for me or for you guys, I'll say for you guys, I recommend between $500 and $2,000 a month. The kind of clients that I work with, I'm selling a client on it and we close probably next month or at the end of January. She is going to pay me $5,000 a month to launch one bundle funnel a week. So that's going to be a decent package. It's going to be pretty easy, but it's just the fact that she doesn't want to handle that. But that's going to be, I'm really excited about it. And she's paying someone $10,000 a month for funnels. So, okay, let's see. Do you build funnels for the paid clients? I have a potential client that wants me to build up a landing page and start their email list opt-in. Okay, I do build funnels sometimes. I like partnering with funnel builders more though, because I am better at social media and paid advertising. What I highly recommend is on this journey, try everything a little bit and figure out what you love. because I discovered what I do and don't love. I do not like writing blogs for clients. I don't even like writing blogs for myself. So my team helps me out with that, because when I write, I like writing fantasy and sci-fi. Like, that's my thing. I'm not going to be sitting there writing technical blogs. Just being honest, guys, don't judge. I saw everyone judging me for a second there. That's what I like. Like, I like Game of Thrones, that type of writing. So I'm not going to be good at writing marketing blogs. I'm good at marketing videos and, chatting on a podcast or that type of thing. So my team supports me when it comes to blogging, and I won't do it for clients because I don't like it. Does that make sense? So try everything a little bit. But do I build funnels for my paid clients? Yes. And if you were just building one funnel, charge somewhere between $500 and $2,000. If it's a simple opt-in funnel, probably about $5,000 or $500. If it's a sales funnel, you're going to want to charge $2,000. If it's a full funnel with like full email automations and everything and like all the tech, you either should know how to do it or don't take that client on, because that's intense. Like, that's intense for me, and I hire out the tech support on it for a little bit. All right, let's sneak on down. Do you design the photos you'll use, flyers, videos, and so on? Yes, I design all the photos. My team and I've got a team now, so we design all of the photos that we use. We use them on, we mostly create them on Canva and with WordSwag. WordSwag is a really nice app. It's super easy. It's in your back pocket. That app was actually what got me into the Content Marketing Institute's most influential online marketers, talking about WordSwag and how awesome it was. So that is really helpful, and it actually makes really attractive graphics. So I'm a fan of that because I'm not a Photoshop person. Down the road, we're going to bring in a graphic designer as we scale. I didn't tell you guys this. My goal for next year, has everyone heard my goal? SMU, have I told you guys my goal for next year? It's fun. Just for the agency alone, we set the goal, and it's not just a goal. This is not a stretch goal. This is like no, it has to happen. $3 million next year in clients on the agency side. So we are stoked about it. My partner Caleb is awesome, and I have no doubt that we'll hit it. Like, it's just going to happen. That's what happens. So really excited about that. But we're going to bring on a full-time graphic designer whose job is just to create better graphics than I can do. I struggle with graphics, and Canva and WordSwag make it super easy. So I do that. Videos, my clients are responsible for recording their own videos. And unless you have a video package like Marley Baird does in SMU, Marley does. Sabrina Torres, I think, has a video package, or maybe she doesn't, because I don't know if her partner's doing it. Katie Strader does video. So maybe ask in the Facebook group, and different people who do video will chime in. But it's something you could add on, but you're going to want to add that into account, like your time for that, into your packages. Oh, I'm talking fast. Do you mostly work with individuals to start, or do you target successful companies? I work with established small businesses, somewhere between a successful solopreneur and a small business that is, honestly, it's usually somebody who's doing between like $500,000 a year in revenue to about, I don't know that I'd want to go much higher than 10 million a year in revenue right now, until I bring in more data analysts, because data is not like naturally the first thing that I'm good at. I know how to read it and interpret it, but I'm not good at relaying it. So I need to bring in support for that before we go into the really big guys with, $1 million budgets for advertising. Do you offer advice on getting started on your own without your current employer knowing? There's some really good threads on this. There have been a lot of threads on this, because I feel like a lot of people have had to hide it. I had to hide it in my 9 to 5. You could ask that question in SMU, and if one person asks it, a bunch of people will answer, because a lot of us have been there. It's really fun. Okay. Let me fly through these last few questions, and then we'll hold on questions just for a minute so I can get through the paid thing. How do we get into, how do we get on the elite program? There's more information on that in SMU and in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is going to be like your new best friend, by the way. You guys are going to love it, the new people. You're going to love it. It's amazing. Okay, so anyone that is friends or family and asks for a discount will get an inflated price. I love that, Christy. I think that's great. $3,000 a month, $3,000 per client per month retainer, elite. David says, so you say courses are bad? No, my courses are good. No, I'm just kidding. I just think that taking course after course after course and then not implementing it and seeing an ROI is really dangerous. I will only take a course if I'm confident I have the time and bandwidth to implement it immediately following. Do you freelance out your content writing? I do for my own business. I'll answer that both ways. I don't write out content for my clients right now, except for their emails. I love writing emails still. So I have a couple clients where I do email marketing for them, and that's $1,000 a month, but only if they have a full package already of social media and Facebook advertising. And then for myself, I work with my team. So my team, they take different things that I say and then they transcribe voice memos and turn it into an awesome blog because they're phenomenal. And I have two different teams. I have the team for the agency and the team for SMU. So when you build funnels, you require them to have the software like ClickFunnels. Yeah, I'm not learning somebody else's funnel software. You know, if you want somebody who specializes in a funnel software, ask them. How many members does your team have, Rachel? I think we're at 11. We're either at like 10 or 11, but a lot of them are part-time. We've got a couple full-timers. We've got a full-time salesperson, my full-time partner on the agency side. My sister is a full-time account manager on the agency side. Alicia is full-time. That's it for full-time. And then the rest is an awesome part-time team. Okay. Whew. If you didn't listen to podcasts and you weren't the ideal guest, how would you find unpopular podcasts to be a guest for? Really, David? Just kidding. Just kidding. I had to give you some crap. Okay. I would just straight up ask in Facebook groups. I'd be like, hey, who here has a podcast? What's the name of it? Those are unpopular podcasts. Oh, who came up with an answer fast? Okay, you shared your pricing for Facebook ads in the call earlier. Is that for a single ad or multiples? I have this rule, and this is actually a really, really great thread, and I feel like I'm going to share this once you guys are in. But who is this? This is Young Pratt. Young Pratt. Let me just make a note to myself to tag you in the post. Anyone remember the post, more is not better? Better is better. So it doesn't matter if it's one ad or if it's 75 or 500 ad sets. It's not about more being better. It's about better is better. So I'm Young Pratt. Is that your name on Facebook? Because if it is, I'll tag you on that post so you can see it. More is not better. Okay. All right. We're on the last few questions. So definitely not realtors. They are so cheap. I don't actually personally recommend working with realtors. I think it's a very specialized industry and you have to have a track record of getting good leads. Like certain people on this call are very good at working with realtors. I am not. And I know that. So should I sit down with the lawyer to build a strong contract? I personally do not say yes. And here's why. Because the cost, I need to sit. I can't sit on my knees anymore. I'm getting pregos. Okay. I personally am not necessarily a fan of having an ironclad contract, and here is why. Only because if a client doesn't pay you or they break their contract of 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, what it's going to cost to take them to court and in the energy that it's going to take, the finances, and then, hey guys, pause questions as soon as we're done with, like right now, like pause questions until I get through this other side. Otherwise, we'll never get through it because I want to keep answering questions. And then we'll answer the questions after this one. So then we're just going to take a break from questions for a little bit. So one of the things that I recommend is recognizing that like it has to be a trust relationship. You have to trust your clients and your clients have to trust you. And so it doesn't hurt to have a strong contract, but if it's going to cost you $250 an hour to get a strong contract from an attorney, I don't recommend it. There is a fairly legally binding contract in SMU and you can use that. I personally use the simple tiered proposal that's in SMU. So that one is super simple. It's really easy. It's basically like a handshake agreement. And guess what? I've never had any issues with it. Ty Lopez. Oh, interesting. Ty Lopez says we should do a brand story video for the client. Do you agree? I personally do a brand voice exercise that I just taught on. I don't think everyone's good at video, so I don't personally think that. I actually have never even heard any of the advice that Ty Lopez gives. We're very different from each other. We've got very different philosophies on life, but hey, maybe he's got some good advice. I don't know. So what I actually recommend is putting together a brand voice for your client, but unless you are naturally good at videos and you're charging premium rates, don't create a brand voice video because that's going to take a long time. MVP, baby, all day, every day. Minimum viable product. That's why I still work in my house. We've got a team of 4 people working on the couches downstairs on laptops or at the kitchen table. Why? Because I don't want to pay for an office yet. And yes, we are making over $100,000 a month. I'm not going to say how much, but it's a lot. And so we'll get an office in the next month or 2, but it's not right now. Does that make sense? Like, I don't need it. It still works on the couch. So, okay, you were actually very talented at writing emails. Oh, thank you. Yours are the only emails from a marketer that I always read. I really enjoy writing my emails. That's important to me. David's getting a corn dog. Okay. What industries do you recommend working with? I actually have in SMU the best and worst industries to work with, and that's pretty helpful. And I talk about what industries are difficult to work with. And the only industries that I don't personally think are easy are like insurance. My gut is go for anything that has a paycheck, or I'm sorry, that has a pulse, a checkbook, and an understanding and appreciation and need for social media. That's my honest input. And then when you start to build your clientele, you can niche down. Okay, should I charge a setup fee or a 3 months upfront fee? I don't do either. Some people do. So it totally is up to you. Yep, so pause everybody. I'm not going to answer any more questions till we get through the paid portion. And then just to remind everyone, let's keep all of the questions about pricing. So let me see if there's any other pricing ones. I would personally go for 50% upfront. No, that's actually not what I recommend at all. I recommend 100% of the payment upfront for social media management. I'm super, super passionate about saying that. And so I'm not saying like you're wrong. I'm just saying that that is absolutely not what I teach. I teach 100% of your payment comes upfront, and it's to protect you. It's super important. Everybody take note of that. You should collect 100% of your payment upfront every single time. I've never seen someone who collected payment upfront that ever regretted it, but I've seen people who collected 50% or after the fact who have regretted it. So 100%.
If they do 50% up front, on the end of the month, they'll do 50% on the back and another 50%. So it'll be total 100% anyways. So it doesn't make any sense.
Isn't it interesting? So
for the second month.
And everybody does 100% who's successful in SMU, 100% before. Has to be. So it's a rule. Okay, so the best results from that proposal. The simple tiered proposal, you guys, is the best converting proposal I've ever used in my life. It's almost so simple that you don't believe it. It is phenomenal. Works so well. Works like a charm. Most of the people who are bringing in $10,000 a month plus use that proposal. And I love it. I think it's phenomenal. Okay, but I have knowledge too. So funny. All right, remember, pause questions. I'm not answering them, so I'm going to scroll up so I don't even see them. Okay, because I get distracted. All right, let's dive on into paid price points. And this is a permanent market, and I don't want to accidentally use it. So paid pricing, if you are brand new to paid advertising, everybody has to start somewhere, right? I am a strong believer of that. If you are new with no training and no experience, you are basically doing a favor to a client if you're running ads for them. Does that make sense? So it's like you get a little spending money. That's about it. So $500 a month if you have no training and no experience in Facebook ads. Do not promise anything. Do not guarantee anything. You're probably not going to last too long with clients unless they really don't care, you magically hit the winning combination. If you have training, if you have taken Elite or you've taken Facebook ads trainings that are good, I can't speak to all my competitors' trainings, but I know that mine give you the foundations for what you need, then it is $750 to $1,000 a month for paid advertising is what I recommend. I will say, before you have experience, I'm a huge fan of $1,000 a month for charging. And then you build out that experience while you're getting paid and you take it seriously and you're not too emotionally invested in a good way. Like it's when you're emotionally invested, you're too scared to try things. When you have experience in Facebook ads, I recommend charging $1,000 to $2,500 a month. And that's maybe if you have a couple conversions, you've had some that have been good, maybe a couple campaigns that have ran really well, or the client is pleased. Then $1,000 to $2,500. Your goal should be to get to $2,500 a month just for Facebook advertising. That includes copy, creative, targeting, objectives, optimization, reporting, and then however many ad sets the client wants. Now there is an asterisk. This is kind of helpful. There is an asterisk that you can add into any of your proposals. I recommend it most at this price point here, an asterisk. This is up to, and then put a certain number of ad spend with the asterisk, up to blank per month. And the reason that you add that is once in a while you have a client who becomes massively successful. And it's really exciting. And if you're charging $1,000 a month and suddenly you have to manage $20,000 a month in ad spend, that's a lot of work for a small client. So it becomes really tricky. Now, having this asterisk in place is going to be helpful. It's going to protect you. So if they explode and they have more advertising, you can assess their new ad spend budget and say, oh, at that price point, I'm actually going to be charging $3,500. I know it's more expensive, but it's like 10 times the work or 20 times the work. So that's important so that you're not working for free practically. Okay. Now, when you are an expert level, I highly recommend charging $2,500 to $3,500 a month in Facebook ads management. None of this includes the ad budget, okay? Clients always pay for the ad budget, and it always comes from the client's card, and clients determine how much they want to spend, and you can help them to determine how much to spend. A good rule of thumb is if they're new and just testing things out, $500 to $1,000 a month is helpful. Even when you're running organic social media, if you, especially on Facebook, if you can get $150 a month or somewhere in there, like even just $30 a month, but $150 a month in ad spend to appropriately boost, although I explain boost more and what I really mean when I say boost in SMU. If you can ramp up their likes or their something along those lines to get some traction more easily, that is going to save your life. So I recommend getting a $150 ad spend per month. Super helpful. So for clients, if they're just testing out ads, maybe they're in these levels right here, you're going to want to charge, and maybe at the low end of here, you're going to want to charge you're going to want them to spend $500 to $1,000 a month in ad spend. If things are going well or you're scaling things, $1,000 to $5,000 a month can make a big difference. When you go past about $5,000 a month, big things are happening. Most clients, I have a client who does $80,000 to $100,000 a month in revenue, and he only spends $300 a month on ads, $3,000 a month on ads. So there's big things that can happen, but if they're spending more than $5,000 a month, big things are happening. If your client's spending $5,000 to $20,000 a month in ads, really big things are happening. And over 20,000, you're working with multi-million-dollar brands usually at that point. Now, my rates are obviously $3,500 for organic and $5,000 a month for paid advertising. That just is for the paid. And that was actually one of the easiest sales I ever made, was the $5,000 a month Facebook advertising rate. Kind of interesting. If you guys have any questions on this before I dive into the questions, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask the question, and then I'm going to dive into the chat and answer questions. Good? And you don't have to be shy. There's no such thing as a stupid question in SMU. I'm actually really nice. As long as it's not intentionally a stupid question, because some people do that.
Rachel?
Yes.
Sophia?
Oh, hi.
Hi. Well, I'm just wondering why that was your easiest sale ever. Just nothing about that, but just curious.
Definitely. So it was really interesting because at this point, with my brand, I'm pretty visible. I don't do advertising for my agency. There's a lot of word of mouth. I feel like my for the most part, my reputation precedes me, which is kind of good. And my reputation is that I'm nice, I'm down to earth, I'm authentic, I'm goofy. I don't have a major ego. I have a little, but not like a major ego. I think we all have a little ego. But I'm not like a major diva in the marketing space or anything like that. And so I think that my reputation going before me was really helpful. So this is somebody who is friends with Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels. And Russell Brunson actually called me, what was it? One of the top, what was it? We just looked it up last night. Now I can't remember. I'm going to see what he called me. It's a good thing. It's not, he didn't call me a name or anything. Okay, let me just see. It was one of the top social media consultants in the world. And that was what Russell called me, which was pretty, I mean, it's huge. Like, it's nuts. Absolutely crazy. And here we are, like, working on our couches in yoga pants. Well, I'm wearing yoga pants. Caleb and Paul aren't. So the thing is that was really interesting, I think, about that is that that helps to like precede the sale and puts trust there. And so when I worked to close that person, it was so easy. He didn't ask for case studies, references, projections, what I think I can do. He just was like, you know, that sounds really good. And he said, what do you think about this? Do you think it'll go well? And I said, you can never be certain. But my gut feeling is that this will go well. I feel good about this one. I would take you on. And I said, I want to be honest with you. I won't take on a client if I don't think we can be successful. It doesn't do anyone any favors. That's one of my favorite lines, by the way, and it's true. So I'm not going to take you on if I don't think we can be successful in partnership. And he just was like, yep, let's do it. That afternoon, he PayPal'd me the $5,000, and he was like already talking about his other businesses. It was really interesting, isn't that?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that cool? It was.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely. All right, let me hop into questions. Anyone else have any live questions they want to jump in front of this line with just voice? I'm hot. Can you tell?
I have a question. Like, so how does it work if a client wants both organic and paid services? How do you charge them for that?
I bundle it. So like the best way to explain it would be like to have an organic price, a paid price, and a price for both. So in my simple tiered proposal, tier 1 is like organic, and it explains what the organic is. Tier 2, and just so you guys know, when I say the simple tiered proposal, that's in SMU. If you're not familiar, best proposal, easiest proposal ever. It's like, you're going to laugh at me. You're going to be like, there's no way this works. And it works really, really well every single time. So tier 1 is organic. Tier 2 is paid, and tier 3 is what appears to be a discounted rate for combining the two. The real reason for that is because if you're running both organic social media and paid advertising, they make each other's jobs easier. So great ads fuel a Facebook page, and the Facebook page building a warm audience is going to fuel your Facebook ads and give you bigger and better audiences to work with. So it becomes easier, which is actually really cool. So like, let's just say for simplicity's sake, because my rates aren't the same as anyone else's, when I was charging $3,500 for ads and $3,500 for social, if I combine them both into tier 3, it's $6,000 a month, or $7,000, and that includes email marketing, 4 emails or 1 email a week. Pretty cool, huh? Does that help? So that's how I like to do it, is like individual, but then you combine them and you get the benefit of combining and going through me for both.
Yeah, thank you. That makes sense.
Awesome. Let me just real fast, I'm going to turn off my lights because hopefully now that we've got this down, I'm getting hot. I've got my umbrella lighting on though, so I'm going to turn them off and cool down. So be right back in like 30 seconds. Whew, it's hot up here, guys. Holy cow. Are the candles going? Can you blow them out? We have these candles that we got that are like triple wick. They're called like wood wick, and they're like super hot, but I'm totally blaming the candles for why I'm hot right now, and that's like not true. Okay, let's dive on into the questions in the chat. Yep, someone said I regretted it. I got 50% up front and never got the other 50%. So 100% up front. Absolutely so helpful. Do you do a contract more than month to month? No, I love month to month. And that's so weird, right? Like surprising. What we are going to do, so a lot is going to be, not a lot, but some stuff is going to be changing as we scale into an agency model, so we're ready to accommodate $3 million worth of revenue next year. What we are doing, Caleb and I, is that we're either going to do completely month to month or a recommended 12-month contract with a 30-day out. So it's still kind of month to month. They just can't ditch and then like they can't just cancel the day before the payment's due and then be done. So it's a 30-day out. But we are big fans of, if the client doesn't want to continue with us, we're not going to try to force them to continue with us. We want to continually impress them month after month. That's my thoughts. That's my relationship with them. I personally don't sign up for things where I have to be long-term in the commitment, except for marriage and kids apparently. And other than that, it's like, if I have to be in it for a year, I don't know what next year looks like. I mean, when I met my husband, I got married in 13 days. A lot can change in a month. So that is big for me. I'm a huge fan of month to month. Okay, in organic management, what should the price points include? How many posts, etc.? Okay, so this is huge. There's never a set amount of posts that's right. There's no such thing as a magic number of posts. For some clients, less is more. For others, more is more. And it is not based on what the client wants. It is based on how their following and market is reacting to it. So it's different for every single client. Like I have some clients where their target market won't tolerate more than one post per day. And I have other clients where their target market will handle 5 posts per day on Facebook, and it totally works. I tweet a lot. I've actually had times in my business where I tweeted as much as 20 times a day. Actually 16 to 20. And you know what? My Twitter following supported that. But I got more engagement when I backed off to like 5 tweets a day. So what I say is I actually don't promise post numbers. You'll see that in the simple tiered proposal. I don't ever recommend promising a certain number of posts unless, of course, the client asks. Your goal is to post the right number of times, not a certain number of times. Okay, let's see real fast. In organic management, oh no, I already said that. How about pricing for organizing Facebook contests? You could do it hourly, or you can include it if you really like the client. That's a huge line for how I determine whether or not I want to do something that's extra work without charging extra for it. I think my daughter just got home from school. Or is that another bus? Is there another bus that stops at her bus stop? Okay, I was like, that's early. She's 20 minutes early. Weird. Okay, so when I decide if I'm going to do something that's outside of my scope, one of my big questions is, how much do I like this client? Because I have some clients, actually right now I'm kind of obsessed with all of my clients, and if they ask me to do a contest, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's set up a contest for each of you guys because it's going to be fun. We'll turn it into a case study. You generate revenue from it, which means that you love me more. We work together longer. Now we're working together for the next 12 months and you're $6,000 a month. Suddenly that's a really great income coming from a client being thankful. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing is, if you're going to do it without charging hourly for that task, what I recommend is saying, you know, this is outside of the scope and agreement we have, but I'm going to do it for you just this one time. And make sure to say that. That's super important so that they don't assume that that's what it's going to be, or anytime that they ask, that's available. If you're in the UK, would you just make all of these pounds? Can someone help me with that? Is it pretty close? Yeah. Awesome. Do you bill in US dollars or pounds, everybody from the UK? Cool, we've got some answers coming in the chat. Everyone's kind of quiet today. Okay, just convert into pounds and round up to the neatest figure. Awesome. Same would apply in Romania. Convert these in LEI. I'm actually not sure. Unless they're a US client, then I just charge in dollars. Got it. Oh, I see. If they're a US client, you're charging in dollars. I know people that take a % of profit on bigger companies. Would you recommend it? Nope. I just want to get paid my amount. I actually have a client who is going to be, her company is going to become $1 billion company. It's phenomenal. It's skyrocketing. We went from $2,000 to $4,000 a month in sales when she came to me to $250,000 in sales over the last 8 weeks. So her business has skyrocketed, and we're like not even close to getting started. We're just, we're ramping up. But she'll be $1 billion company, and she always is like, let's profit share. Like, I want to take care of you. Let me profit share. And I'm like, no, just buy me a really nice like vacation or something. And the reason being, when my clients win, I want them to feel like they won, and they naturally become so thankful. So I get a lot of really cool gifts and presents and dinners and stuff from my clients. And that's just, it's really awesome. So that's what I like to keep it. That's how I like the relationship. But some people like to do profit shares. I just personally find it's a selling point that I don't ask for a portion of their profit. All right. Do you add up your organic and paid to get a total? Are you on $8,500 a month? I have not secured a client at $8,500 a month. I've secured clients at $3,500 a month for organic social. I've secured clients at $5,000 a month for ads. I've secured clients at my last price of $3,500 and $3,500, making it $6,000 plus $1,000 for emails. But I have not yet done the $8,500 a month. I would probably discount it to $7,500 because it sounds nicer. So it'd be like organic and paid for $7,500. But I'm actually going to raise my rates one more time so that my agency's prices make more sense. Okay, let's sneak on down. What better referral than Russell? Oh, you know, just Russell. He's awesome. Pretty cool. Do you use Asana? I use Slack. I love Slack. But do they get charged automatically month to month, my clients? No, they pay an invoice, but they will start to be charged automatically starting next month because we're putting them all on ACH or a merchant payment processor that automatically bills them and just takes it out of their credit card or something. Do you charge for strategy sessions before taking on a client to make sure they're a good fit? If someone wants a strategy session, I currently charge $1,000 per hour for a strategy session. But did you guys all see the calculation of how I figure out hourly? I'll do it one more time just real fast so you guys can hear how I figure out a good hourly, because obviously you guys aren't going to necessarily go in there and charge $1,000 for an hour. Unless you want to, go for it. If it works, like, cool, that's awesome. But not many people take me up on the $1,000 an hour call. My goal is actually to minimize those calls. So I will only take discovery calls for a client if I want to, if that makes sense. David, are you trying to beat me? 2,000? David's personal goal in life is to beat me. That's actually his goal. David's one of my favorites. So, what was I going to say? So hold on. Now I just got pregnancy brain. Shoot, give me 1 second. What was the question? Can someone help me? Oh, hourly. So for strategy calls, you would charge for your hourly if it's a strategy call. If it's a discovery and sales call, you're not giving away the whole farm of strategy. On a strategy call, I give away a decent amount of strategy, which is why I charge $1,000 for that hour. I want to get done with that hour and be like, hey, yo, I got $1,000. Now we can go shopping tonight, you know, or something. I'm not a big shopper, but, you know, if I were, that would be really cool. So that's what I kind of think of it as. But the hourly formula for anyone who was not on the call with the entire big group is take the annual salary you want to make. So let's just say $100,000 or $50,000, right? I'm going to use 100,000 because the math is easy and my brain is tired. It's been a long week. I closed 9,500 in new clients 2 days ago, which is really fun. And then I might try for one more, but I don't know if I'll get them by this weekend. So next week will have to be a big week. I want to try to finish out this month at like 25. Now I want to go to 25 in sales. Okay, so take that annual salary and divide it by 2,000. Voila, you have the rough hourly that you want to charge. Now round it up to like a pretty number if you had a weird number, okay? So if I wanted to make $100,000 a year, my rough hourly is $50 an hour. Okay, let's peek on or sneak on down. I also have a full-time sales rep too, though. Who was asking this? Young. I have a full-time sales rep, so he can take sales calls for me when I don't feel like taking sales calls, and he's really good. But we don't want to ramp him up too much because we need to hire 2 more people and get our office before we ramp up. That's the big goal for January. Okay, in organic, do you do comments? How many per day? I'm going to have you, Teresa, ask a little bit differently. Is that on Instagram? Are you talking about, do I manage the comments? Do I reply to the comments? Give me an answer to that. Do you promise a certain number of followers or that clients will get monthly? No, I never promise anything. I say we can have a goal of growing your following. That's all I say. I would convert to GBP. Oh, good call. Okay, let's sneak on down. Charge USA clients in dollars. And USA clients have a better tolerance for high ticket social media management sales, like the prices, than some parts of the world. The rest of the world is still kind of catching up a little bit. My little one might join and just say hi. She just got home from school, so we'll see. $1,000 is 750 pounds. Cool. Let me sneak on down. I just received the Call Me a Corporate Slog email and saw my car and my house were a total mess. I decided to learn social media marketing so that I could fix my car and buy a house one day. So you kind of got me there. Aw, that's fun. Yeah, we have a nice car now. It's actually a really nice car, but we still live in this house and we're going to stay here probably for 1 more year because I want to buy an apartment building before we buy our house, so that we own an apartment building and have then our office and our agency, and then SMU is kicking. I love business. I'm obsessed with business. So can you tell? It's my favorite. Okay, 2K. David, you're so funny. I want to take SMU so badly. Okay, I won't read that one out loud. Well, take what you can and go ahead and implement it as much as humanly possible. Like, that's what I highly recommend. Implement it in the 30 days. There's no reason that every single person who's new to SMU can't secure a client in the next 30 days. If you listen to what I share in SMU, go through the 10 days to 1K challenge, start the 30-day Get Clients Bootcamp. I highly, highly recommend it. Yes, thank you, Stacy. Okay, Teresa, manage on Facebook. Sometimes we do. For some of our clients, we manage it. It depends on if we do their social media too. If we do their social media and their paid advertising, we respond to every single comment. That's super important. All right, Emily says I have to leave. We'll see you later, Emily. David's got to go. Do you think it is better to go through SMU and then join Elite? Rachel, you are huge. Oh, you're an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I personally recommend, well, let me just put it this way. I am going to be breaking down when I recommend people take Elite, and it's not right away. Does that make sense? Like, and then the other thing that's going to happen with Elite 2.0 is you're only going to get Elite 2.0 if me and my team feel like you're ready. So it's going to kind of separate things from like foundations to mega advanced. Does that make sense? So it's like, it's going to be cool because then it naturally separates you into the level that you're supposed to be on based on your client load, based on everything. My gut says go SMU first. And if one person even wants to ask in SMU, when am I right for Elite? Ask other people. Like I'm biased. I think that Elite it gives you the skills you need to secure Facebook ad clients, and Facebook ad clients are great money. And so I'm biased. I'd say ask other people and ask them when they think is the right time. If you can afford it and go for it, go for it. If it's a stretch, don't do it. Don't put it on a credit card. I'm not a fan of taking out debt just to try to start a business. I bootstrapped this whole business myself with, I wouldn't even get approved for business credit cards, you guys. I went into banks and they were like so proud to tell me no and turn me down at the bank. They did not take me seriously. And it like that kind of stunk. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, I don't need a credit card, but we do. We have them for the points because the points are awesome. Okay, so let's take a peek real fast. So we're at about an hour and 15 minutes. I have 19 more minutes before I have to go for my next call because I want to knock this Friday out of the ballpark. so that we can go out to dinner with our friends and then spend the weekend with our kids. Okay, what is Elite? Elite is like the big brother to SMU. So it is all about advanced stuff. So advanced Facebook advertising. There's a little bit about Facebook advertising in SMU, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is getting clients, securing clients, handling clients, organic social media. It gives you all you need to, if you want to, set up and create a $5,000 to $10,000 a month business without taking Elite. I know several people who have done, lots of people who have done between $5,000 and $10,000 a month just from SMU. So it's a phenomenal ROI, and that's how I believe things should be. Don't spend money on credit cards. I'm not someone who's ever going to tell you that you have to do that. Okay, whew, my voice is getting sore. It's been a week. Let's see real fast. As an SMM, do you also do live shows for your clients on their Facebook page? I mean, live Q&A? Nope, that is all up to them. Client has to do that. A really great example of this is when Russell Brunson says they can outsource part of their marketing, but you can't ever outsource lovemaking. Sounds so controversial, but what he means is like there's certain things you can outsource. You can't outsource lovemaking. I couldn't outsource getting all my teeth worked on this week, or 2 weeks ago, which was so painful and still is, but that's okay. And so the client has to be responsible for their own business. Your job is just to bring more people, to bring their business in front of more people. There's an extent that you can support them and help them with strategy and goals and ideas. But at the end of the day, if your client won't take responsibility for their own business, they are not going to be successful. It stinks. You can't carry them. You are a marketer and you are a leader. But as Garrett J. White says, you are not a savior. Okay. How many clients did you handle when you were on your own? I had 15 clients before I hired my sister. So 15 was a lot because I was running SMU. I did have a virtual assistant at that time. I did virtual assistant, Alicia, who started with me, and she's grown all the way, and now she's full-time with me. And we had 15 clients when Stephanie came on board. So 15 clients plus, Steph, when did you start? February? February. Okay. So February of this year, I had less than 200 people in SMU. Yeah. Less than 200 people in SMU and about 15 clients. And now we've just we don't have tons more clients. We just have bigger ticket clients. It's like a combo, So we're slowly getting rid of the smaller ticket clients and then bringing on the bigger ones. But some of our smaller ticket clients we really like. And we just want to keep them because they're enjoyable and they feel like family. So Elite is your product. It is. Talking of teeth, do you work with dentists? I do not, but a lot of people in SMU and the Social Click do. And so they're in SMU. Just feel free to ask who's worked with dentists. My teeth, I could have used working for a dentist and doing a barter. That was insanity. Okay. Do you include engagement on social media with your clients? For example, do you spend time interacting with others via their social media, liking, commenting, etc.? To get a full, because for that, it would be, you can do that on Twitter and you can do that on Instagram. You can't really do that with the Facebook page the same way. It's awkward. It doesn't really make sense. So what I personally feel with that is that I feel like you can do a little bit of that, but you don't necessarily have to unless you're charging premium rates for that. The guy that I know who's really good at Instagram, he's coming into SMU next week. He's coming into SMU, Josue Pena. He is one of the best Instagram strategists I've ever met in my whole life. He has a network of millions of followers, including millions on some of his own platforms, his own Instagram accounts. He does engagement, and just for Instagram, he charges $3,000 a month. So just Instagram. So that gives you kind of a price point of yes and no. You can do some of that, but you shouldn't be engaging all day as your client when they're only paying you $500 a month. Okay, my dad's a dentist. Is it worth him recommending me to his friends who are dentists and starting with them as clients? Friends and family and friends of family are going to be the hardest clients you ever have. I personally am a fan of taking on strangers first. So I just got so tired. If you guys were following this week, I stayed up. I did one all-nighter, and then I stayed up until 6 one night because it's been a big week with bringing Caleb on and prepping to like get the agency up and running for the big year next year. And I want to feel like I'm completely ready by the time I have this baby and feel like stuff is handed off. I sleep a little, just not a ton. Do you talk this much even with your family? That might be one of my favorite questions that I've ever gotten. Okay, let me go back. I sleep a little bit. I sleep sometimes. I slept last night, but I just get so excited about work, and I'm not even joking, that I can't sleep. So like this morning, you guys, I commented in my sleep in the free group. Did anyone see that? In my sleep, I commented gibberish on a status trying to reply to, or on a post in the free group. I was like, oh my gosh. And I sent messages to a bunch of people in my sleep last night because I was just like so excited to work. And I kept falling asleep while I was working, but I was like, I woke up at 5 after falling asleep at 2 and was excited. And I was like stoked. I was like, this is the best week ever. And then just started working and falling asleep and like sending gibberish messages. And I sent Alicia a bunch. Oh my gosh, just what? I'll come down next week, I promise. Okay, am I in braces? No, I'm in temporary teeth right now. So not a single one of my teeth that is left is real. All of these are fake. Because my teeth are normally terrible. They're very unhealthy. They looked fine. Like you guys know, those of you in SMU, they looked fine. They were really unhealthy. So they were terrible. They were really, really unhealthy and messing with my health. And so I went and got all of them filed down into little pegs. And every single one will become either a crown or a veneer or an implant. I can't do the implants till I have this baby. And then my veneers and my crowns will happen the first week of January. But it does make talking painful. So I've got a little bit of a lisp because I'm trying to like not bite my tongue and all of that. And then the veneers will be good. So do I talk this much even with family? I don't always talk this much. I'm either like silent and serious or super hyper on calls. But like, my family has said what I do, because I get really serious about business and like I'm all in business mode. We'll like be hanging out with the family and I'll just be sitting and kind of like listening. And then all of a sudden I'll get a burst of energy and like say something really loud and come up with something crazy and then like do like a crazy dance move. And then I go back to like being quiet. And that's kind of how they explain me. They're like, it's interesting. Oh, Dawn, I actually don't need Invisalign because all my teeth are going to be flawless January 1st. 100% of my teeth will be 100% perfect in 3 weeks. But thanks for the offer. Okay. With my family, I talk a lot, not this much. When I get on calls, I want to talk fast because I want to deliver a lot of value fast. You know what I mean? If I'm hanging out with friends, I'm quieter, but I still am a very social person. What do you guys think? Do I talk a lot? Caleb says yes. Caleb's my business partner. Do I talk this much? Sometimes. Depends on the day. Spurts. Oh, my husband's a winner. He said just the right amount. Isn't that great? Whenever I'm around people, I get super energized. So I talk a lot, like on calls with people. And when I'm around people, I'm quiet. When it's like just me and my husband, I'm a little quieter, unless the Vikings game is on. And then I want to talk his ear off because suddenly in that moment, I want all of his attention. But okay. I am going to, monthly posts for clients, Monday through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday sounds good. Just make sure to clarify that so that they don't think that there are daily posts every single day of the week. Monday through Friday is good. I think that that's a great time. If you can plan everything out and if you can plan everything out, awesome. And make it so it goes through the weekend through automation, perfect. But if not, no sweat. When you were just getting started, what were your goals? Number 1, to leave my 9 to 5. That was one of the biggest things. I wanted to leave my 9 to 5. I wanted to submit my notice so badly because I got written up and I was really upset about it. And then my next goal was to retire my husband so that we could spend more time with our family and be on our own terms and travel. Now it's like, it's definitely changed a lot, but those were the first goals. And then to someday pay off debt, because we had like $65,000 worth of debt. And he's been secretly paying off all of our debt on the side. Like, and I don't pay attention to it because it stresses me out. So I'm just like, you just pay it. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Is Matt saying me too? Like, just pretend it's not even there. So you just got to find somebody who knows how to like just put the money towards it, and you just wake up one day and it's gone. You're like, that's awesome. So, okay, let's see. As Facebook organic reach is pretty dead. Oh, I disagree. I disagree 100%. Facebook organic reach is not dead. How do I know this? Because I do it. I do it a lot. So I want that to be super, super clear. Hop into SMU and I'll share more about that. I have had clients and do have clients where we run just social media with no boosts, no posts, having ads behind them. It absolutely is not dead. I promise. You just have to get really, really clever. So it doesn't work for everybody because not everybody is familiar with how to get engagement and reach all the time with every client, but that's okay, you know? Let's see. Does it matter if you use Hootsuite to post for clients? I think they will see that Hootsuite was used. Unless your clients want to pay you extra to manually post, that doesn't matter. I use Post Planner. So that's huge because it's huge to recognize your clients can't get mad at you for using a software that makes it easier for you to post. I mean, that's not wrong. So how long did it take you? Oh, do you run Google ads? No. Instagram ads? Yes. SEO? No. Pinterest ads? I played with Snapchat ads and they really stink. LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, YouTube ads. That's about it. So I don't do Google ads, so I don't like them. Although Google is kind of YouTube, it's just different. You know what I mean? They come together. You can run ads for YouTube on Google. How long did it take you to leave your job? 6 months from the time I started, which was just over 2 years ago. And then I retired my husband about a year after I started. So a little less than a year after I started. How do you keep time out of work with the excitation, all the projects and the momentum? It gets very hard to stay away from work without feeling guilty of slacking. Don't you think? Yeah, I think guilt is something we all struggle with, but it's more because we're passionate. You know what I mean? We're excited about things, and you have to learn to turn guilt off, because guilt is basically this idea that you're wrong if you do and you're wrong if you don't. Like if you're spending time with your family and you're feeling guilty about not working, and then you're working and you're feeling guilty not spending time with your family, you have to learn to get in the here and now and just be like, I'm going to have fun. One of my big things is if I have a majorly aggressive week, I would rather work Monday, Wednesday, Friday straight through the whole evening, and then spend Tuesday and Thursday with tons of quality time with our kids, like hands-on, hanging out, playing games, watching a movie, going out to a movie, going shopping with them, and then spending the entire weekend with them. So to me, it's more about being really intentional about where you are at every given time. Okay, I am going to call it quits in just a moment here. I'm exhausted. I'm struggling a bit with wins to present to customers. I keep thinking, is this win good enough? Do you have any advice on that? Yeah, the win is good enough. How about that? But here's the biggest thing. Ask clients what their goals are when you're doing the discovery call. If your wins are in alignment with your client's goals, it's good enough. I am going to say, I'm going to skip any of these that don't have to do with pricing now, because I'm tired and I'm ready to be done. So, because it's actually been a really long day. Apparently I started at 5 a.m. while I was still sleeping today. What pricing do you suggest for running a Facebook group for a client? Running a Facebook group, a lot. Community management, supporting the client, $500 a month, $500 to $1,000 a month, depending on if there are other community managers. Running a Facebook group is almost impossible, because you can't, that's like having a client say, hey, I want you to run all of my product development and tell me like what I should do. It's like, no, this is your business. You have to decide to be successful. Cheyenne, you're in SMU, so go in SMU and read up on the 3 E's of killer content, read up on, well, the training will be in the platform soon, but it's in the Facebook group for now. There's a video that is called Building a Facebook Page from the Ground Up. There's a video that's called Maximize, and I would watch them in this order. 3 E's of killer content, Maximize, and then building a Facebook page from the ground up. Okay, let's check real fast. I'm not going to answer any more questions unless they're about pricing. Yep, nope, I'm good. I'm tired, I'm sorry. I do get tired. Being pregnant has made me like, more like, oh, and I'm getting big, and it's, you know, but anyways, I'll probably get all ramped up because we're going to go out to dinner with a friend. I'm so excited. It's going to be a blast. But I will see you all in the Facebook group. I hope everyone got value from this. I think this is really fun. I'll put the replay of this up in the SMU Facebook group within the next day, and then within 24 to 48 hours, the replay of this will be up in the forums. No, I'm sorry, because we're going the weekend. By the end of Monday, it'll be up in the forums, the training platform. So remember, if you're new to SMU, you've got to hop into the Facebook group. Just make sure that this is where you go to join the Facebook group. The instructions for setting up your account, you can find those in the pinned post within the SMU Facebook group. If you want to be approved to the Facebook group, make sure you use the right email that you signed up for SMU with, because we don't approve people if the email doesn't match the payment records. That's important. And go catch up, everyone, on go catch up on trainings. You guys have a lot. Anyone who's new, you're gonna hop in there and be like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new world. It's really fun. So I can't wait to see you guys all in the Facebook group. We're going to have a blast and have such a good weekend. I will hop in a little bit this weekend. I have some work meetings, but also have a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys all later. Talk to you. Bye.
Bye.